You know, Abuna, to live in the early father, it's not because sometimes the people, they misunderstanding what does mean the life of the early fathers. To live like the early father, is it to live in a desert, to live in a cave, to do very strong practices? I didn't think so, because, for example, there are many of them like Abba Shinuda, for example, who was the leader of monks living and is trying to help the people, you know, and he created many things for the people. He was not living in a cave, for example. But I mean, to live in a cave, yes, this is it's if we say that the life of monks like a food, it has special taste, special taste of life. But we have all of us to choose what is convenient for us, what can, not because not everybody can live in a cave, not everybody can live in a society, not everybody can live inside walls, but to live like the early fathers in thinking, in vision, in practice.
But Abuna, what about the desert, though? The desert is something special. I think,
for sure,
I can agree with you that that when we think of the early fathers, we take many different lessons from them. And as Pachomius and Shenouda, as you said, they were charitable. They were living with people and sharing with them and saving them in times of trouble, and there was no difference between them and the people, no great distance. But when we think about the desert, then I think we come to another subject. I think really, from all I've read and all I've seen and what I am living, I feel that the desert has a special spiritual charisma, a special spiritual quality.
It creates special atmosphere for the monk, and it encourages him to help him in his vision, in his target. Of course, yes, but okay, desert means rocks?
I think so.
Or desert can be inside the monk? Because maybe, okay, one monk, he can live in a desert, but where is his thinking, where is his thought, where is his mind? You know, and this is why we should say that all the monks, they cannot live in a cave. This is why there are few monks are living in a cave. But all monks, they can live like the early fathers. Even if they are with the people, even they are serving the people, they should follow the teaching of monks, how they deal with people, how to live with people, how to teach people. And I think monks like flowers. There's some flowers can grow in the desert. Some, yeah. No, there is some flowers in the desert. You can see some.
I don't see any.
No, in some valleys you can we call it desert flowers. But there is some flowers cannot grow in the desert. It need a good soil. But finally, each one is a flower. Flower in the desert, flower in a monastery, flower in a city or in a village. I mean, they are flowers, different flowers. They have different smell, different color, different way of showing. I think they are different.
But I think also the desert has a different discipline, if I can use that word. When you live in the monastery, you have a kind of discipline, because from the day that you come to the monastery, your place is defined. One father comes on January the 1st, and another father comes on July the 1st. The father who came on January the 1st, he always goes before the other one.
Yes.
This is a tradition of order,
monastic,
of
order,
yeah. So we have like, not hierarchy exactly, but order of seniority.
Yeah.
So this order of seniority, this makes a kind of discipline. The younger monk, he must be respectful and he must be attentive to the wish of the older one. Okay. This also makes a difference in the way that the prayers go and the masses go in the monastery, and the life in the when they eat in the refectory together. Even in the work, the young monks must do the worst work, and the older monks can do something a little bit more suitable for them. And there is a discipline which operates in the monastery. When you move outside the monastery and you come to the desert, there's a different discipline. Different discipline. Okay. So many of the fathers talked about this discipline of the desert. The discipline of the desert is a discipline, a physical discipline, because you haven't all the support system around you. You don't have electricity, you don't have running water, you don't have easy access to fresh food. You don't have many things which you have in the monastery.
But you have another support in the desert, completely different.
Completely different.
Yes.
So the discipline of the desert is a discipline which has a physical character, because you have to prepare your life according to the absence of many things, not the presence of many things.
Except one.
Except one. But this one, when we come to this, when we look around us, when we look around us in the desert, it's like the world is just made, not even finished. God didn't finish to make the flowers, to make the trees, to make the rivers. He just made like the bare earth. So I feel that in the desert you are living in a state where God is still a power, who is without any soft considerations. There is no like feather bed. There is no luxuries. In the desert, everything is stripped back to the basic. Why? Because now in the desert, when we stand here and look at the mountain, God must be in this place. You feel that everything is empty. So what has filled up the emptiness? God only.
And this is why if you stand in the desert, on the mountain, you can hear that there is nothing in your ear. There is something. You hear God.
You hear God.
You hear God. You are completely. If you're looking to the sky, you said, "Oh, only God." Hear nothing. It's empty, completely empty. Yes, the desert has different.
This idea that when the early fathers said about to live in the desert, why did they ask to go into the desert? Because there they knew that God will be the great power, and in the desert, His power is, His glory is apparent, His power is apparent, and He is enough for you.
He's covered them with His power.
He covered them completely.
Yes, covered them, and you don't need any help from the other.
And all of the rest, you are happy in the desert because you don't need all of these things.
You are not busy with anything. You are not busy. You have nothing. Only are just looking to the rocks and thinking about centuries and years, about the creature and how God created this creature for us, and then how He left some of the rest of this rough surface of the earth. It's something very strange.
See, what about the soul? Like when you the way that I see it, when you clear your soul from all the temptations and the sins and the failures or the desires or the successes, when you clear all of this off, like if your skin is dirty and you rub it with the soap to clear off the dirt, okay. When you clear off your soul is empty, clean, like a desert, because the desert is clean.
Yeah.
There is no dirt in the desert. Okay, there is sand, but sand is not dirt.
No, yes, it's not dirt.
Nothing
it's natural. It's natural, like when the God created.
And the soul is like that, Abuna. In the desert, the soul lives in a state of equal cleanness and equal basic newness, like the desert. The desert is still a new. It's not new, it's old, but I mean it's new because it's not used up. There is nothing added to it.
Yes.
So the monk's soul in the desert, it's easy like a blank paper for God to write on it.
It should come back like a desert, like the first creation.
I think that this is a very special quality about desert life, that in the desert you are without any additional writing on your paper. Your paper is clean.
Yeah, nobody used it before. You are the first one to use it.
Exactly. And even you don't write unnecessary things, because you cannot make unnecessary things in the desert. You cannot grow things. You cannot build big civilization. You cannot build a life in the desert. For that you need a river, or you need farms. You need earth. You need all the natural support. So in the desert you can build only a spiritual. You can only build your interior, your inside life. The outside life you can't build it, but you can build the inside life. So when you are standing in the desert and you are kicking the rock, you can kick it every day. It will never.
It will not. There is no answer.
No answer.
Yes, there is no answer.
You are the only one to give the answer.
Yes. But Abuna, it's very strange, because it comes to my mind a very strange question when we're talking now. In the beginning of the creature, how everything is water and the soul of God just on top of water. Everything is smooth. And then when he started to create it, okay, he did some oceans or sea, some water, and then he did some agriculture, flat, and then he did very rough mountains. But why? Why everything was not very smooth, very soft? Why this rough area of the global on the earth?
Yeah.
Very strange, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this means there is the meaning for that. I think why God left this rough area for us? Is it to teach us or to live in?
No, but Abuna, the high points of the desert, if we look at the prophets and we look at the monks, the high point of the desert is that it is only it is a reminder only of God. There is nothing, you are not reminded of anything in the desert. Why John the Baptist would go into the desert, leave his father and mother and go into the desert? Because in the desert, the fire of the desert burns away the human passions, burns away the human concerns and interests.